Welcome back to the FACEIT and ELEAGUE Overwatch Open. This is week 3 of the qualifiers. North America happening right now. We're in the grand finals between Team Solo Mid and Fnatic. Fnatic, I did do a little bit of a Twitter poll earlier in the day. Fnatic had a very large majority of the votes, which I thought was a bit interesting, as usually Siegel and his legions of fans end up flooding those polls, but Fnatic definitely has some believers out there.
Fanatic, how could you not believe in them? They've had great showings recently, and right now they did more of that in Hollywood. There were some dents in their armor there from time to time. TSM definitely brought it back to them. And actually, there was a point there towards the end where I thought TSM very well could have come in and won that matchup, but in the end, it was Buds and IDDQD coming in the clutch. And really, you saw IDDQD, once he gets to the backline, he is absolutely surgical. And he really brought that through. So certainly TSM will have to have an answer for that. But more so than anything else, they just need to set a bit quicker of an attack time, avoid those situations in the future.
And we're not going to be seeing Anubis or Hanamura just yet. It is actually going to be King's Row for game number 2, another payload map, actually hybrid map similar to Hollywood, where you attack into one point and then have to push the payload. So could play out similarly. It's been Fnatic on Hollywood, actually 2 series in a row where they've been in just full control. But this one is a bit closer than either semifinal, actually. Just a difference of about 50 seconds there for that first map, and could certainly keep that trend going.
And for me personally, I'm happy to see a little bit more King's Row. There was a point where for Overwatch competition, you would see King's Row in effectively everything.
Yeah.
King's Row would be the first map all the time. Then Hollywood sort of supplanted it, and now we've been in this nice era where we're getting a little bit more parity. Sometimes it's King's Row, sometimes it's Hollywood, sometimes it's Dorado.
Yeah.
But either way, more map variety for you guys here at home.
Yep, and actually, speaking of map variety, the inverse of that is that we're going to see no King of the Hill maps at all, which is kind of interesting. I really wonder if it's both teams just not being comfortable with it. Letting 2 assault maps get into the best of 5 is something I definitely did not expect, but both teams are here. They are warmed up. They've already pushed through their semifinal opponents into the grand finals. A best of 5 means that it is not over after King's Row, no matter the result, although we do have Fnatic leading 1-0. They are looking for automatic qualification into the playoffs, which will take place at the end of August. There will be 8 teams from North America in total. 4 of them get straight away into the playoffs, and the other 4 come from points.
Right, and the key thing to know is that if you get in from winning a grand finals, you automatically have a higher seed than anyone who gets in from points. And with all the tough teams, and especially, both regions have their killers, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you have to run the gauntlet of just terribly frightening teams from the beginning. You want to have the easier road, save your strength and all the rest. But taking a look here at the defense, it will be TSM defending first. Harblue on the Zarya, Shake on Zenyatta, Torque on the defensive Tracer, Nicholas on Reaper, JKW and Reinhardt, and Joe Meister on Lucio. And Josh, what do you think of the defensive Tracers I've been seeing coming out more and more often recently?
Well, defensive Tracer, I think Surefour was the first one to really open my eyes to it, and it can be, of course, incredibly valuable. It depends if they can get deep enough and undetected, really, is kind of the key. If the tanks do their job and distract the front line, give Tracer the room that he needs to actually get in the back line, things tend to go well. But IDDQD also on Tracer means we could see some Tracer duels. So far it is IDDQD on the point already, did sneak around the backside here.
This might be a huge miscalculation by TSM. They went very aggro on the defense before getting a first pickoff. They lose one of their Tracer, or they lose a Tracer as a result. IDDQD right now just piling in over the top. Custa getting a second kill in the Harblue. Now a 6v4 for Fnatic, and that right there is the danger of overextending, Joshy, because you look at this right now, and Fnatic is going to cap point A.
Yeah, the dominoes are falling. Stoop chasing Shake all the way halfway into the streets there, and Torque is going to be the last to fall on defense, while the rest of Fnatic just sits calmly on the point. They're going to capture it in under a minute. Definitely not a good look for the defense so far. They're going to have some time to respawn, but they're a bit staggered. Some of them, of course, came out of that front spawn. Some of them are going to have to run back from the super long, far away spawn, and eventually they will all come together. They're probably going to be playing a corner. The payload will get some mileage out of it just as a result of taking A.
Yeah, and the danger here for TSM is that this is where the snowball effect is real. They didn't get a whole lot of ult charge on their first offense here. Harblue and Shake might have things up soon with Joe Meister, but there's going to be a window here for Fnatic to really ram this down their throats a little bit harder, because they are going to have ults up. IDDQD does have Pulse Bomb at the ready. They have a Transcendence, and we'll see what they do here. They're getting into it right now. The Graviton is out here from Fnatic.
Wow.
3 people in that Graviton, but they don't have the fall through because IDDQD was not able to get in there.
He did get in there at the very end. He launched his Pulse Bomb as the Graviton Surge ended, and it actually got,
still got in
3 limbs. Yeah, just enough time there as they were trying to get away. But Tracer, of course, has the advantage of being able to blink into them and drop that pulse bomb, got the sticky, everything paid off, worked out great for Fnatic, and they're going to get, again, a wide berth here. They may not be able to get the checkpoint immediately, though.
That was JKW, of course, is who stopped IDDQD from getting in there. It's like, all right, well, the opportunity is lost, but at the very last second, IDD comes in and explodes it. So saved at the very end. Not so much if you're a TSM fan. Sam Bear is coming out here from both sides. And Custa going to get first kill on the Torque as the sound fades, but the Graviton Surge is out. Will TSM be able to fall through on it? They get one kill, but it's going to stop right there. Harblu moving to the back. Cool Matt on a rampage, has 2 kills, is lit up like a Christmas tree right now.
Harblu looking all over the place, did not have the personal bubble available, and the Pulse Bomb will manage to take him out. IDDQD in that kill feed, as you expect, as you know and love. Cool Matt on the Zarya, setting things up nicely there. It looked like TSM may have had a glimmer of hope, but now they're all the way back at their spawn. IDDQD just being a pain in their butts all the way at the door, not allowing them to get any breathing room. Fnatic pushing straight through here in the final point. 6 minutes left to basically round the corner and finish the goal.
This is a super fast time. Right now, they're about 3 minutes and 5 seconds in. I can't overemphasize that TSM needs to win the next fight, but here comes the Graviton already out for Coolman. No. IDDQD getting into the back line. Shake is down already. Vonathil is down, but Buds, once more, being the reliable rock, has taken out 2. Coolman piling on in the back, gets a double kill of his own. And ladies and gentlemen, Fnatic right now on the verge of setting a sub 4-minute time. This is terrible for TSM.
Bud's got multiple kills there, got down to only about 5 health from what I could see in the overhead UI there, and managed to back off and retain his Death Blossom through all of that. You can see him hiding there in the cubby in case the defense does pile onto the payload. He'll be ready with that Death Blossom. You can see the Sound Barrier come out. There's the Death Blossom. It gets shut down very quickly by Harblu. Not a lot of value out of that, but Cool Matt is going to stay alive, takes out Torque before falling and getting outnumbered.
This, I can't overemphasize how vital this hold was to TSM. If it was a sub 4-minute time, they would basically be out of it. It is so hard to actually come back. They've bought themselves a bit of breathing room. Nicholas will have Death Blossom for the next fight, Joshi, and that could turn the tables if he plays it right.
Yeah, Nicholas with that Reaper already in position in a great spot. Zarya's going to save his bacon there as Winston tries to shove him out of the window, but Death Blossom can change the tide of a fight very quickly as long as he gets a drop. If he aims for those supports without the tanks nearby, can be a very quick shutdown to an entire push.
All right, we're taking Nicholas right now. He is going to get speed boosted. He was looking to get to the back, takes out Cool Matt first. The Graviton comes out. It doesn't do enough. 3 kills here for TSM, and Nicholas going to the back line has Vonathil in his sights. Doesn't really have to overchase it, though, because they've done enough damage from the rest of his team.
We couldn't really see it on the screen, but the Transcendence actually saved their grits because I said bacon earlier, so I made it grits this time. The Transcendence basically kept the Pulse Bomb from annihilating everybody. It was actually a great setup, but the Transcendence timing from Shake managed to keep TSM alive, and that's another solid hold. That's another minute in their favor. Only 4 minutes remaining now for Fnatic. Still a lot of time to work with. They're still looking to set a time, but TSM finally fighting back when things looked very grim, only 5 meters away from the point earlier.
Right, and Nicholas once more might be able to set this up. Here you have Graviton Surge coming in from the defense. Nicholas going to the back line, can't hit Q at a moment's notice, decides against it. Bud's firing right back, takes out JKW. It's back and forth on both sides. Nicholas in the back line. Here comes the Death Blossom, gets 1 before getting taken out. Didn't like what he saw earlier on, but doesn't really get what he's looking for later on. It's a trade-off between both teams, and Fnatic now can have a little bit more momentum, and certainly an ult advantage going into the next fight.
Yeah, with only a few members alive, Fnatic still choosing to push onto the cart. They realize they actually did enough damage where they can keep that payload at least very close to the end. They want it to be a one-wipe-and-win situation, so very good presence there from the tanks. Buds here does have Death Blossom. He may have just given himself away, but he has a great opportunity here to jump in. We've got the Transcendence for the offense. Buds trying to find what he can, but the defensive Transcendence definitely stunting his style here.
Yeah, he had the hold off, and it gets worse. He doesn't have another raid for him. The Sound Barrier comes in. He's just going to hit Q anyways. 3 kills still come out here from Fnatic as Stoop goes wild, swinging the hammer. W mouse 1 all the way, and that is going to pave the way for Fnatic to cap this out. But let's talk about how gritty that was for TSM to buy themselves about another 2.5 minutes out of nowhere. That is the difference between a beatable time and an unbeatable time. So it's still quick from Fnatic, but TSM has a lot to be proud of for their last point performance.
Yeah, that opening push really was kind of the worst thing to happen to them as they, as you said, got pretty aggressive on defense for whatever reason. IDDQD was already on the back line, able to just do whatever he wanted. That was that great Death Blossom and the Pulse Bomb that we mentioned, which was a little bit late, but still super effective.
It's one of those things where I didn't expect him to be able to go back in. There was at the very last second, triple blinked in and actually got it, because normally if you you get hit by an Earth Shower during that, people are going to split, but they do not split quick enough.
Yeah, they tried. They were definitely on the way back, but the triple blink was enough ground covered to just lob that pulse bomb out and get multiple kills. So everything still working out well for Fnatic. 3 minutes left at the end when all is said and done, and this is a 9-minute map, so that is going to still be a average, a respectable time set. That very end there, that Death Blossom, great discipline actually from Buds, not to just pull the trigger early, waited until the right moment and actually paid off well.
All right, so 6:01 is the official time to beat here. This is beatable. TSM does have life in their step. Gonna be difficult though, and it looks like they might be pinning their hopes and dreams on Widow, but let's take a look at what we do know is coming out here from the defense. IDD, QD on what else but McCree, Cool Matt, once more on Zarya, Vonethil on the Lucio, Stoop on the Reinhardt, Custa on the Zenyatta, and Buds going to be creeping, as always, on Reaper.
Yeah, this is the point A defense to a T that you see out of a lot of these pro teams. So take note if you're playing competitive. Hollywood, Kings Row, Numbani. Actually, not so much Numbani because there's a lot more high ground that you have to consider. But Hollywood and Kings Row definitely tend to have these same 6 on defense very often. TSM, out the gate with the offensive Junkrat, important to note, can break through chokes quite well, especially Reinhardt shield.
It can also not only break through the Reinhardt shield, but also can hit people in the backline. People are a little bit more clumped on Kings Row. Not the worst idea, slightly unconventional, but not unprecedented.
Yep, we've seen it before, and it usually works out for the better, so we'll see if Junkrat can manage to stay alive. Definitely can dish out a ton of damage. They're going to rush forward here with the Lucio speed boost to meet that Junkrat, but good work by the tanks to get into position fast enough to keep everyone alive. Stoop is actually very low on the defense. They cannot find the kill on him just yet.
Yeah, he had Discord Orb on him. His shield was broken. It's lucky for him that he was able to get out in a hurry. Both teams trying off pretty substantial poke right now. And actually, TSM has been winning this poke war, probably in no small part due to their Junkrat play. Coolmat almost going down turn, but he already has a Graviton up. This is a very quick Graviton by Zarya Standards. The Graviton is out. 3 people are in here already, and that's going to be the fall through from Fnatic. Well played by Coolmat to get charged that quickly.
Yeah, I can't believe actually kind of sneakily did that as no one was getting kills. It was just kind of the poke fest that you mentioned, and while Junkrat, we were watching him just lob bomb after bomb into that hotel, guaranteed damage essentially to where the defense was set up. Zarya was just quietly lobbing bombs of her own, and it definitely paid off there as they get the wipe. 1 minute already off the clock, 1 minute and 20 actually already off the clock. That same amount of time 2 times over is a done game.
It is, this is not what TSM wants. They definitely need to get through to the next push. Here comes the Tire looking to make someone roadkill. Going right in. Reaper had the dodge in, and it does run Stoop right over. Torque with the fall through. There is no more shield tank here for Fnatic. 3 kills for TSM, and Junkrat opens the way.
It's so rare that you see the Tire actually meet its mark, but great pick there. Getting the Reinhardt down. Everything falls shortly after. Joe Meister even getting in on the final blows. Feels good for Lucio, but that is about 2 minutes to take point A.
Can we start a scumbag Reaper meme here just because
Reaper's so nice.
Bud saw that Tire just like, I could shoot this, but I got right for him. In fairness, he probably would have gotten blown up a turn, which would have been really bad also, but just by Reaper's just like, better you than me.
Yeah, Reinhardt, very risky to try and swing the hammer there and drop your shield at all, so, probably the right move to keep the shield up, although the rest of his team wasn't able to pick off the Tire. It paid off there with the Junkrat, and he's now going to switch, of course, after point A is taken care of. He is going to get onto that Reaper, which you see a lot more often for Nicholas.
All right, well, we see both teams setting up here once more. Fnatic with a whole lot of ultimate power behind them. TSM, no slouch, though. Fireworks will be going off here in this next fight. Gravitons for all. It starts with an Earth Shatter from the offense. It met with a Graviton by Coolmat and sets up Buds with a triple kill in the back. And in the ult war, Fnatic will reign supreme.
Yeah, that Graviton Death Blossom. It has been Graviton Pulse Bomb really stealing the show all weekend long, but the Graviton Death Blossom definitely the nice fallback, especially with the disappearance of Pharah. The barrage is kind of extinct in comparison, but Bud's definitely on point with every Death Blossom we've seen out of him, barely ever having a whiff.
And here's the trouble here for TSM is that they have maybe a buffer of 1 more wipe in the street space, but after that, they can't get wiped again. Sound Barrier does come out for TSM. They're opening up. They're winning the poke war thus far. Stoop goes down, 65 in favor of TSM. They have Fnatic on the ropes. Custa does get a counter kill. It is now back and forth, 4v4, and Fnatic turning right back into this fight in their favor, Joshy.
We've got corpses on both sides, but it is TSM down to just Hardblue now, and as he falls, so do the hopes of TSM for continuing this push. Fnatic will have plenty of time to regroup here. They're actually going to back off, make sure everyone's back at 100%. They're getting ready for their initiation, probably talking on comms right now about this setup. Coolmat with that Graviton Surge is going to be very pivotal. Time is ticking down. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to finish the entire map. definitely working against TSM here.
It's working against them in the worst possible way. This is a must-win fight. They move in. Transcendence is out. Graviton is out here from the defense. IDDQD coming up with nothing on that Deadeye. Snoop, though, takes out the enemy McCree. 2 kills here from Fnatic. 6v4. Will there be a miracle on the TSM side? There will not be, as Fnatic finishes their plate.
Death Blossom, that's the first one that didn't kill everybody. I'm not sure exactly what prevented that, but Bud's not getting any value out of that. And Heartblue just on a tear. IDDQD, though, full health. They're with his Lucio. They're going to be able to reclaim the cart when all is said and done, and that's another 20-30 seconds just disappearing for TSM. They have to really push straight through now.
Heartblue made me a liar at least in half there. He wasn't able to fully win the fight, but he killed enough people that Fnatic just wants to back out here. They might even concede this last point because you take a look at the time to beat. It's a minute 30. That means they effectively just need to win one more fight, arguably 2, but Nicholas goes in the back line. Death Blossom ablazing, takes out IDDQD to start. The Earthshare fall from JKW makes it a triple kill for Nicholas. JKW and Nicholas opening the way, and TSM, they have a last chance here to win this map. 70 seconds remaining on the clock.
Yeah, this last stretch can be done in about 40 seconds. We've seen it before where we're like, oh, only a minute and a half, they're screwed. No, wait, they just finished the map. So definitely not impossible, but they will need everything their way, and there's no ults available on either side. IDDQD does have Deadeye available now. Joe Meister, though, on the attack, does have the sound barrier to cancel it out.
All right, here comes the Deadeye opening from IDDQD, just hoping for even a single pick here to put this in Mac's favor. The Deadeye is out here from the defense, but Torque finds IDDQD unawares, takes him out. 6v5 for TSM. TSM hoping to keep the miracle alive. A double kill here for Torque. 3 kills for TSM. 33 seconds remaining. Fnatic is on the ropes.
Custa jumps in with the Transcendence, trying to save his teammates, but he can't do it. Joe Meister gets the kill on Custa. This is the final stretch, the final defense here for Fnatic. Are they making any switches? Yes, IDDQD onto the Tracer, Buds onto the Diva. Can they make the hold? 15 seconds. Keep in mind, overtime will not matter here.
Overtime will not matter. There's only 10 seconds remaining. The Graviton is out here from the offense. They're trying to put this away. Buds and Snoop, though, not phased. That is a triple kill from Diva. Nerf this, says Fnatic. They are going to hold on.
Wow, Buds, incredible. They're switching off of the Reaper onto the Diva just in time to contest and saves the game, essentially. That was, you know, Fnatic was in a good position to win that game regardless, but that was getting a little bit close.
There's a trend here. If you go back to Hollywood and now look at Kings Row, TSM makes it look like they're going to lose the map terribly. And then they come in at the last moment, play out of their minds and make it close. Because really, you look at the trend of both maps, it looked like Fnatic was going to handily win Hollywood, handily win Kings Row, and TSM made for some very dramatic theatrics in both games at the very end.
Man, if their early game was just a touch better on either map, this could be a 2-0 the other way. It's actually incredible how close these teams are performing, but Buds, actually both times, Buds and IDDQD end up being the difference on defense, and just a number of great Death Blossoms throughout there. Deadeye, actually not as important this time around, but Nicholas and Buds both getting tons of great Death Blossoms. I really like it as a Reaper main myself, a dirty Reaper main, some people might say, but definitely the Death Blossom is an art form that these guys have definitely spent a lot of time perfecting.
It is, and we saw good Death Blossoms from both teams. Really good coordination in general. TSM, again, it seems like they have a switch where, oh, we're about to lose. I guess we should really turn it on. Fnatic a little bit more consistent over the course of the game. Unfortunately for TSM, Joshy, though, they are down 2 games, and that's a rough road here because now they have to do the reverse sweep to win here tonight.
And 2 of them would have to be assault maps as well, so Fnatic has to feel good about at least having this 2-0 lead, of course, but really only 1 payload map left at all, and it is going to be actually selected. Dorado will be our Game 3 for sure, so don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, it's going to be our 3rd payload map in a row. TSM has to battle back. Fnatic sitting comfortably with a 2-0 lead. Don't go anywhere. We'll see how it goes.